welcome. You're watching Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. You know, in 1919, a songwriter called Pete Seeger wrote and sang, "We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, we do believe we shall overcome someday." और हिंदी कवि गिरजा कुमार माथुर ने इसे ट्रांसलेट किया और लिखा, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. You know, it's so heartwarming to see all of us come together, pool in our resources by way of social media, financial help, care for each other during these times of COVID. It ultimately proves that help, healing, care, compassion always triumphs. This too shall pass. Please be assured of that. On Now Showing, we again have a lot of happy stuff from cinema. Let's start with the headlines. Catch the review of Kathmandu Connection, a crime drama that releases this week on Sony Live. Randeep Hooda talks about why he never played a quintessential Bollywood hero and his journey to Hollywood. And hit machine Divya Kumar on being the voice of Varun. So first, let's review Kathmandu Connection. Its lead actor Amit Sayal always believes in controlled performance. In fact, almost till the entire series, until the climax, he has a brooding disposition, thereby proving that less is more on screen. Kathmandu Connection is a welcome change, low on stereotypes, easy on drama, absence of unnecessary gory scenes, realistic dialogues, and a storyline that keeps you gripped and invested. There is a connection between a kidnapping in Delhi, a custom official's death in Allahabad, and a casino in Nepal's capital, from where blank calls are being made to a television journalist.
Hello?
Kathmandu Connection looks like an authentic 90s 6-part web series with costumes and appropriate set designs. Its protagonist, DCP Samarth, brilliantly played by Amit Sayal, is very adequately backed by Aksha Pardasani, Anurag Arora and Anshuman Pushkar. In fact, more than a crime drama, it's an artful love story of sorts, engaging a clever and over-dedicated police officer with a broken marriage, a college lover, and a TV journalist hiding a secret. Something pretty fresh in this storyline here. The performances are truthful and honest, and the direction focused on characters' emotional graph more than the police procedural. I particularly loved the last episode, which had the climax with a twist. The music by the very acclaimed music director Sneha Khanwalkar beautifully adds to the atmosphere of a brooding story of revenge. In all, it's a good watch. This week I recommend you watch two movies. One is Ram Singh Charlie, directed by Nitin Kakkar, and the other is Life is Beautiful by Roberto Benigni. Life is Beautiful is a 1997 Italian comedy drama film directed by and starring Roberto Benigni. He plays a Jewish Italian bookshop owner who employs his fertile imagination to shield his son from the horrors of internment in a Nazi concentration camp. The film was an overwhelming critical and commercial success. The movie won the Grand Prix at Cannes Film Festival and 3 Academy Awards, including Best Foreign Language Film and Best Actor for Benigni. On the other hand, Ram Singh Charlie is a 2020 Indian Hindi language drama film directed by Nitin Kakkar. Written by Kakkar and Sharib Hashmi, the film follows the life of a circus artist and his subsequent struggle after the circus is shut. It stars Kumud Mishra and Divya Datta in lead roles. I watched it only to have my belief reinstated in how much can a human being's willpower and persistence achieve. The film is honest and infuses pride in one's passion. So let's talk about the man of the moment, and that is Randeep Hooda. Well, his film with Salman Khan, that is Radhe's trailer is out, and it's been exactly 1 year since his film Extraction, an American drama, thriller, action film with Chris Hemsworth, released. You know, he could never play a gullible romantic hero on screen, and he prepared for 4 years for a film called The Battle of Saragrahi, which did not even materialize, leaving him shattered. Here is a tete-a-tete with this dedicated actor. Now that it's been 1 year of Extraction and the West is looking towards India, of course, we have had a lot of people who have crossed over. Priyanka Chopra is doing very well. So the world is kind of noticing India, and here you are who's done this project, and people are noticing you more and further and with a lot more seriousness than our own people did. What do you see of this new phase, and where do you see yourself heading, Randeep?
I see it as a very good phase because the Indian diaspora and the inclusion thing that's happened in America about inclusive projects where people with different ethnicities should be represented by their own ethnicities. So that is one part that has played very well. Then our own Indian diaspora has gone up. And for me to be a part of a film where an Indian actor, especially male, for the first time has got such a pivotal part and such a lengthy part and doing things which are traditionally not Indian, which is doing absolutely haddi tod, you know, Dishum action, which is actually no Indian actor has done before. So that has really opened things up for me and their way of looking at us. And I take pride in the fact that I have initiated the action part of Indian males in the West.
2003-04 की बात है. I used to watch a lot of theatre plays. और नसीर साहब का जो भी प्ले होता था, उसमें आप आके सबको चेतावनी देते थे कि अगर किसी का मोबाइल बजा तो
That was my first play with him. वो मेरा पहला नाटक था उनके साथ. उसका नाम था मंटो इस्मत हाजिर हैं. उसमें वो रोल बनते बनते बन गया जो नरेटर का था. और उसमें वाइट शेरवानी मैं पहनता था. और इत्तेफाक की बात यह है कि जिसने भी वो वाइट शेरवानी पहनी मेरे बाद, मेरे प्ले छोड़ने के बाद, जब मैं बिजी हो गया, सबका काम चल गया. तो हम लोग ये बोलते हैं मोटली में कि यार वो वाइट शेरवानी जो भी पहनता है उसका काम चल पड़ता है.
I'm just seeing your filmography is right there in front of me, and I want to tell the viewers, just listen to this stupendous list of movies that he's done. Monsoon Wedding, first film with Meera Nair, then D, then Darna Zaruri Hai, Risk, Rubaru, Mere Khwabon Mein Jo Aaye, Karma और Holi, Love Khichdi, Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, which was again a breakthrough. Jannat 2, Cocktail, Jism 2, Heroine, Murder 3, Bombay Talkies, John Day, Highway, Kick, Rang Rasiya, Ungli, Viva Boys, मैं और Charles, Lal Rang, Sarabjit, दो लफ्जों की कहानी, Sultan, Baghi 2, Love, आजकल, Extraction, and then you have Radhe and Unfair and Lovely in the making. क्या problem है? It's a huge list of movies, Randeep.
Yeah, it's a huge list of movies. I'm very fortunate. मुझे कोई problem नहीं.
और उसके साथ-साथ पोलो भी खेला, उसके साथ-साथ animal rights activist भी हैं, उसके साथ-साथ
मैं उसके साथ-साथ इतने सालों में मैंने मॉनसून वेडिंग के बाद डी 4 साल बाद की. उसके बाद वंस अपॉन अ टाइम से पहले भी मैं 2 साल घर बैठा था. साहिब बीवी गैंगस्टर वंस अपॉन अ टाइम के बीच में 1 साल घर बैठा था. अभी 3-4 साल अभी सारा गड़ी के लिए घर बैठा हूँ. तो इस पूरी फिल्मोग्राफी में एक्चुअली मैं तो 8-1 साल तो बाहर ही बैठा हूँ.
तो जब तक आप थे तब तक आपने बहुत काम किया.
हाँ, नहीं कर रहे, अभी भी बहुत कर रहे हैं. अभी मैं और भी काम ले रहा हूँ. मेरे लिए एक्सट्रैक्शन की वजह से वेस्ट में भी मेरे लिए बहुत एवेन्यूज खुल गए हैं. और यहाँ पे भी अभी राधे और अनफेयर एंड लवली, व्हिच इज अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल slice of life comedy and, you know, dramedy or whatever. It's one of my favorite films. And then of course OTT space mein I'm doing Inspector Avinash. So work has never been the problem. To do it well and for that work to be given the platform, for it to reach people. There are many of my films which did not really reach people in the box office, but they've later on, you know, like Lal Rang or Main or Charles, on which there is a series being made. So now all the things which maybe were not big success at the box office have found their audience and have found me as an actor in them.
So, Randeep, now things have changed. पिछले 4-5 सालों में बहुत तेजी से ये बात बदली है, ये हालात बदले हैं कि बाहर वालों को आसानी से मौका नहीं मिलता था. And you were somewhere out there doing your own thing when all of this was happening. What were you thinking about it?
Definitely, there is a close group of people which discuss it amongst themselves, and they cast people, and they're usually from their own circle, which is also is understandable because you want to work with people you know and are comfortable with. But to cast a larger net was not there, and I don't think it's still there. I think you always have to find your way, but I have never made it as an excuse. Of course, one has felt that many times in one's life, but that does not mean that that is an impediment. You want to work in the industry. Nobody's forcing you to work in the industry. It is your choice. And then you have to deal with the nature of the industry. So though I have felt the shorter end of the stick many times where people would, appreciate you in person, but never say it out loud. Even with Extraction, nobody said it out loud that, but am I looking for their confirmation or am I just looking for my next job? So you have to find a balance. You cannot let people whose approval would depend on whether you are cool or not. With fashion magazine, prints your picture and writes underneath it, how cool, doesn't necessarily make you cool. Or if you're not there, doesn't make you uncool. If you don't get a film award, doesn't mean you suck as an actor.
Yeah.
If you don't get a particular project, doesn't mean you're not going to get any other project. Yes, some projects are destined. Some projects are projected in a way. They are presented in a way which are huge, and you can replace the actor. Any actor would do well in them. Well, those projects have not landed in my pocket, but I have made most of what I have got, and that is all one can do. To feel sorry about it and feel, make a big hoo-ha about it is something which is not my thing to do.
Yeah.
You can, of course, but that's, you just have to move on. You have to keep doing things.
But Randeep, आज की तारीख में, जैसे for example, I saw Kick and Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, and I thought कि इस रोल में और कोई हो सकता था, and I found no one. इस वक्त सलमान खान के सामने नहीं, I'm just talking as a viewer also. स्क्रीन पे भी अगर आप देखिए, बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो किसी बहुत बड़े एक्टर या बड़े स्टार या बड़ी पर्सनालिटी के सामने खड़े हो सकें. I clearly remember your graph. मैं आपका करियर बहुत closely follow कर रही हूँ. You were a person from theatre. That means you knew your job. You looked, oh God, uber cool in those days. You still look great. And those guys were so handsome, Randeep. You were this. उस ज़माने में.
I had to actually overcome the handsome part, and I tried to deform myself in many ways and not look so good, to people to stop concentrating on how good I look to a real person, the character I'm playing. I really did a lot for it. Even in makeup, I'll do something which will, I'll put a scar on or something, discuss with the director. Like in Highway, I used to lie down in the sun like this for hours so that I get that, weather-beaten face. And for Sarabjit, of course, I did a lot. So always trying to, make one more like the character, somebody who you can feel is really breathing and, right in front of you rather than just a pretty face. In fact, I'd gone to NSD for a workshop, and there was a German director there who was directing a play, and Nasir Saab, I was with him, and he introduced me to that guy, and he just brushed me aside, and he told somebody, and I overheard that, yeah, he's too good-looking model type. Yeah, these people are not good actors. So I was like, oh, really? So that kind of stayed with me, and I've since tried to look more real. And, all you have to do is just brush up yourself, spiffy up yourself and your styling, and then you're back to that. But that doesn't really look believable a lot of times.
Randeep Hooda's passion for acting took him to Ram Gopal Verma's factory, his production house, where he was employed for so many years at a salary of 35,000 rupees. He waited for his turn to come. Talk about passion for cinema. We're heading for a short break. After the break, we tell you Who is the voice of Varun Dhawan and why? Welcome back, you're watching Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. Now we talk to a singer called Divya Kumar. He has lent his voice to blockbuster films like Bhaag, Milkha, Bhaag, Kai Poche, Ruhi, and incidentally, he is known to be the voice of actor Varun Dhawan. He's had quite a struggle in this film industry and has loads to tell you about his lineage. Here is Divya Kumar in conversation with my colleague Vishal Chatkara.
छल्ली कर दे सीना मेरा, छल्ली कर दे सीना मेरा, छल्ली कर दे सीना मेरा, दाग दे सारी बोलियां नी अज मेरा जी करदा मरी जाने, अज मेरा जी करदा मरी जाने, नी मेरा जी करदा मरी जाने, अज मेरा जी करदा.
Divya, is it correct to say that Divya Kumar's voice is actually the most preferred voice for all Varun Dhawan songs?
बहुत फॉर्चुनेट हूँ मैं इस चीज को लेके, बिकॉज आई वाज असिस्टिंग सचिन जिगर फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. आई थिंक बदलापुर का जो गाना था वो उनको इतना पसंद आया था. जब वो स्क्रैच सुनने आए थे रात को 3 बजे आई थिंक, तो इतना वो खुश हुए थे और उनको पता नहीं था कि मैंने गाया है. आई वाज सिटिंग ऐसे ही साइड में, और उनको जब पता चला कि ये मेरी आवाज है, बिकॉज प्रोड्यूसर साहब वाज लुकिंग फॉर अ न्यू वॉइस, मैंने वो उस गुस्से में वो गाना गाया था कि नई आवाज क्यों ढूंढने के, मैं बैठा हूँ यहाँ पे. उस फीलिंग के साथ मैंने वो गाया था. एंड वही स्क्रैच जो मैंने गाया था वो फाइनल ऑडियो में आप मतलब आप सुन सकते हैं. एंड वही जब वरुण धवन ने आके सुना तो उनको जब पता चला मैंने गाया तो उसने गले लगा लिया मुझे. एंड देन ही वाज लाइक, यार क्या गाया है तूने ये. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो कनेक्शन बहुत अच्छा वरुण के साथ बैठा हुआ है. एंड सुई धागा के टाइम पे भी यही हुआ था. बहुत सारी चीजें चल रही थी, दे वर ट्राइंग टू यूज सम अदर वॉइस, बट वरुण सेड कि नहीं, मुझे ये आवाज ज्यादा पसंद. सो फॉर्चुनेट हूँ मैं बहुत ज्यादा, बिकॉज जब हवन करेंगे आया था तब फरहान अख्तर के ऊपर मेरी आवाज बहुत ज्यादा सूटेबल लग रही थी बहुत सारे लोगों को. तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि फरहान सर, वरुण धवन एक ऐसे लोग हैं, इतने बड़े स्टार्स हैं, उनके लिए मैं उनका सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट गाना गा पाता हूँ तो मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है. ओए हवन कुंड मस्तों का झुंड सुन साने रात, अब ऐसी रात रख दिल पे हाथ, हम साथ साथ बोलो क्या करेंगे, हवन करेंगे हवन करेंगे हवन करेंगे, होए जीव जंतु सब सो रहे होंगे, भूत प्रेत सब रो रहे होंगे, ऐसी रात सुन साने रात रख दिल पे हाथ, हम साथ साथ बोलो क्या करेंगे, हवन करेंगे हवन करेंगे हवन करेंगे.
You've been in the film industry from last 8 to 9 years.
Yeah.
Your grandfather was a music composer.
Yes.
Who has composed music for V. Shantaram films.
Yes.
Please tell us more about your journey in Bollywood.
My family has served Bollywood for the last 50-40 years. My grandfather started this journey when he was 16 years old. He gave up music for his first film with V. Shantaram sir. And उनकी वजह से म्यूजिक हमारी फैमिली में आया. And he had 8 children जो सारे ही बॉलीवुड में they served as a singer or as a musician. My dad being a musician, उन्होंने 40-50 साल बॉलीवुड में काम किया है and as a musician. But अगर आप कनेक्शन की बात करें तो वैसा कनेक्शन नहीं था कि मुझे आसानी से कोई चीज मिल जाए इस इंडस्ट्री में. एक वो वाली जो बात है ना कि वो एक डायलॉग है बहुत बड़ा कि लोहार का बेटा लोहार, या में वो एक कनेक्शन रहता है कि म्यूजिशियन का बेटा म्यूजिशियन ही बनेगा. बट बिकॉज माई मॉम फाउंड आउट कि मैं गा सकता हूँ व्हेन आई वाज 7-8 years old, तो वहां से मेरी सिंगिंग की जर्नी शुरू हुई है. उस टाइम पे बहुत सारे बच्चों के शोज हुआ करते थे जिसमें कल्याण जी, आनंद जी अंकल के लिटिल वंडर्स एक बहुत बड़ा नाम था उस जमाने में. वहां पर परफॉर्म करना मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी थी व्हेन आई वाज 8 years old, और वहां से मेरी सिंगिंग की जर्नी शुरू हुई.
You just said lohar ka beta lohar banega. That means they want you to become a music like not a singer and somebody who plays keys or an instrument. Did you mean that?
I mean the thinking of people, जैसे आज की सोच में और 90s की सोच में बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस है. उस जमाने की सोच ऐसी थी. हर एक के दिमाग में ये बात होती कि अरे तेरा बेटा भी ढोलक बजाता होगा या तबला बजाता होगा। ऑफ कोर्स मैं बजाता था, मुझे शौक है, मुझे पापा को देख देख के मैंने सीखा है बहुत सारी चीजों। तो मैं सिंगर बना, इसका शौक सबको लगा। मैं नहीं बोलूंगा कि किसी को बुरा लगा होगा। मेरे पापा के फ्रेंड्स या मेरे पापा के जो कलीग्स थे, बहुत बड़े बड़े म्यूजिशियंस थे, वो आज इतना प्राउड फील करते हैं कि चमड़े वाले का बेटा आगे खड़े होकर सिंगर बना है। हम बोलते हैं कि ढोलक एक एक स्किन वाला इंस्ट्रूमेंट, तो चमड़े वाले का बेटा आज सिंगर बन गया, तो वो बहुत प्राउड फील करते हैं। वो कम्युनिटी म्यूजिशियंस की बहुत प्राउड फील करती थी।
So we've come to the end of this show. Remember people, the time to show patriotism now is not just confined to 15th August and 26th Jan. It is each day, every moment. Please try and help others, and if you cannot, just show care. Hashtag in this together. Thinking of a better future. Till we meet again, goodbye.